All right. We are live. Live. Check, check, check. Yep, we're live. All right. Got one person in here so far. Hello. Go ahead and say hey in the chat. Slow mode's on. Got a pin message. Um, yeah. Time for Q&A for the month of April 2024. Couple of things out the gate. I'm going to address community post questions first. With that post that I put up at the beginning of each month, I go through those and then I'll interact with the chat here. Other announcement is again, a reminder at 1,500 subscribers. I'm only about 220 something away from that. I will be doing a giveaway. The first place prize winner pick for that giveaway will be getting an MFH brand SADF pattern 83 battle jacket that was originally in UCP and has been customized to woodland camouflage variants by me. It was dyed with Rip Dye and then rattle canned. That'll be the first place giveaway pick. Second place and third place will be getting some combination of a Camelback 2 or 3 liter hydration bladder and then a pair of large mechanics wear gloves, tactical gloves in OCP or multicam, whatever you want to call it. So that's the announcement for that for the months or for the giveaway at 1,500 subscribers. That's coming soon. So once that happens, I'll pick some people and get that done. Let's see. Bukovac. Hey, Foster. What's up, brother? How you doing? Practical Rifleman. Hey, how you doing? Love the rattle can dye gear. Yeah, I mean, it works really well. And for that kind of material, because it's like a blend of like nylon and like some vinyl composite blend mix stuff and all that, it holds it really well. So yeah, so that's going to be a really cool rig that I'm giving away. That's kind of rare now. And then a couple of other things. I'll be picking 3 winners. If one of them for some reason doesn't respond, then whether that's a first place pick or otherwise, then the second place pick will get that, and then the third place will get the other items. And if all 3 people respond, then they'll all get some variant of those items for the giveaway. Joe, hey, what's up, man? Good to see y'all. The vodka's rough today. Well, what vodka are you drinking, Joe? I can appreciate the vodka, the water of life. Other things. Shirt of the day, band of the day is Dragged into Sunlight. For anyone that knows this band, Dragged into Sunlight, they were with Prosthetic Records, but that label did not treat them very well. So they haven't put any material out in a while. So anyone who remembers Dragged into Sunlight will know that they're a great band and you should go check them out regardless. But that's the shirt of the day for metal. Okay, so what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to adjust community post questions. I only have like 1 or 2 this month, and then I will just interact with everyone in the chat. So Joe says, dude got T-boned 55 miles an hour yesterday. I walked away picking glass out of your scalp with your knees. Damn, dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm glad you're okay, but that's rough, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. If you end up setting up a GoFundMe or something to get a new vehicle, let me know and I'll share it around. BV Luminous, you want to make a metal band? Well, dude, let's talk, man. I can help with some of the aspects of it. I've got a lot of projects that I'm juggling right now, but as far as logo design, album artwork, cover design, graphic design, stuff like that, helping facilitate some things, maybe make a guest appearance or whatever on the album, I'm more than happy to. That would be cool, man. I'm down with that. Yeah, Practical Rifleman says, I'm glad you're okay, man. That's rough. Skull drag him nuts. Hell yeah, dude. Aside from the headache from cheap beer, sore muscles, bad words. Well, yeah, it could have been much worse, man. I had another buddy who just rolled his car. He lives in Indiana. He was a little tired, and so one of the dad advices of the day is going to be don't drive when you're freaking tired. He walked away unscathed, but his vehicle rolled like 6 times totaled. But he walked away, so I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad you're okay, man. Do hella trolling, BB. Hey, there's some good grind bands and otherwise out there that do that good stuff, so that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna get through the community post questions real quick. There's only a couple, and then I will just talk with everyone in the chat. Joe says, "Good news is found not too bad looking older chick who bought you two handles and said if you need a place to stay or you get bored, you shack up with her." Hey, winning, winning, dude. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Oh, good stuff. Okay, community post questions real quick. So first question from One Round Left, former Grunt brother. Everyone go check out his channel. He's doing some cool stuff with the boomsticks and whatnot otherwise. Really good dude. He always has good questions. So his question is, if you could impart one piece of advice to someone who's learning first aid, what would it be? Ooh, kind of a two-parter, but really the meat and potatoes of it is practice, training and practice. You have to practice your medical skills to keep them up to snuff. Otherwise, you could make a mistake or miss something, and that could be very detrimental to anybody who may end up being under your care, however ad hoc that is. Um, you really got to do things right and go through the steps properly to just make sure you're checking all the boxes off, crossing the T's and dotting the I's to make sure that you're providing the right type of care and the right process of care for someone in the interim dealing with one of the worst days in their life. So that's the biggest thing for me is that I would say is just you got to train and practice that stuff. The other part of that is along with training and practice, you need to make sure you have a sound med kit set up um, to whatever type and degree in depth that may be. That's a really important thing to have is the medical gear that you need. Anything from SAM splints to simple boo boo band aids to packing gauze to tourniquets, all that stuff. You really need to assess what kind of medical kit that you need for yourself. I keep a full TCCC CLS bag in my truck at all times. I also keep Narcan in my truck at all times because the OD epidemic and all that is a prevalent thing all over the country. So get training on that and carry that stuff too, because you'll probably end up using that almost more than anything else besides like boo boo kit stuff. But yeah, just have a sound medical kit set up too, in tandem with applying that medical kit and doing training and practicing as much as you can. That's really the best advice I can give for that. So that's a great question, man. Thank you. Actually, that was the only question. The only other comment was from George Washington about the meme. Uh, Picture of shelving with like your M lock and your key mod style attachments, and it's a painted graphic of Arnold and Carl Weathers doing the hand thing from Predator, and it's M lock and key mod, basically shelving with the hands locked. It's just funny meme. Modernized quad rail supremacy. Agreed. Pick rail supremacy. That is it for the community post questions. So now I'll just talk with everyone in the chat here. There's some good questions, and if you have questions, throw them in the chat. Say hey when you join in, and throw some questions in the chat, and more than happy to answer them. As pinned comment says, slow mode is on. Helps me keep track of the chat. Helps keep the sex spot spammers away. All that stuff. Okay, let's look through some chat here stuff. BV Luminous only time ever had a problem with driving was 18. License was new and was coming off of 17 hours awake. Yeah, that's rough, man. I know that feeling. Joe says, remind drunk Joe to avoid the black neighbor. She's been too nice and I think she's off her bipolar meds. Again, last time I upset her, she brained you with a tall boy. Noted. I'll be sure that metal to let Metal for breakfast know too. Yeah, BB, some teenage Mexican girl playing on her phone costs you your Nissan. Damn, dude. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Freaking so many people nowadays driving are inattentive. There's a lot of people I've noticed that just haven't gone through a driving school, basic Department of Motor Vehicles kind of driving course. And then they wait and then they get their license and they did freaking no idea what they're doing. How they pass those tests half the time, I don't know. But the other thing is inattentive driving. People on their mobile devices and all that stuff. Like, no, you don't do that stuff when you're driving. If you're driving, your purpose is to pay attention and drive. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's gotten real bad. That's why I don't like modern vehicles with the big screens in the center console and all that stuff. That's a huge distraction. Um, and I don't think those should be in vehicles, honestly. Useful for some things, sure, but the screens are way too big and they are a distraction. Yeah. Asking about X-rays for Joe. For those that joined and don't know, Joe was in a car accident. His car got totaled. He's okay for the most part, thankfully. Uh, drink trunk temp malt liquor so you can calm down. Jeez, dude. You take your car, but yeah. And ambo bills are not cheap per se. Either way, get them down. Difference between fixing and being permanently injured. Yeah. You do. If you have pain or you think you're injured, you definitely need to get it checked out, no matter what. I was going to ask too if you had car insurance because that might help cover some of the stuff. Yeah, I'm wondering if she had insurance too. Joe says, "Well, if I go feed the nice old lady, so if she said I could drive her truck, hey, there you go." Use what you got, right? Old rooster. Going on his day drunk. Joe says he's good. Okay, good. I'm glad you're okay. Martin Fertusman, Josh. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, boys. What's up, man? I know you live in chronic pain. You have prior injuries and some in that, Joe. You shouldn't feel pain, right? Well, BV, yeah, you shouldn't. But the older you get, the more stuff is gonna hurt. Even with staying active, like some things are just gonna hurt. Past experiences, all that fun stuff. The rooster tattoo never lived down, dude. It's so epic. I'm sorry, it's hilarious and epic, Joe. It's funny stuff. Yeah, it's amazing. If the song "Rooster" wasn't about what it is by Alice in Chains, if that song wasn't about what it is, it would be about you. Live in infamy, my guy. Live in infamy. All right. Other new people who have joined, welcome. Say hey in the chat. Ask a question. This is Q&A, apart from just general talking with people in the chat and stuff. But ask a question, and I'll be sure to answer it. Like the pinned comment says, the slow mode is on. Helps keep bots and spammers away, but also just helps keep track of the chat, so I can interact with everyone and just kind of pay attention to the conversations going on and stuff. Again, shirt of the day, Dragged into Sunlight. Fantastic band. Screw Prosthetic Records. They screwed them over. Let's see. Every time you hear that song, it seems just surviving another shitty situation. Yeah. Hey, great song though, man. Alice in Chains definitely one of my favorite grunge bands from that time period. Look up Giovanni and the Hired Guns Rooster Tattoo. Had that ink long before the song. Yeah. BV question. So, Mr. DJ, if you only had $50 to spend every month on preparation, where would it go and why? Food, mostly. Just for food stores. Every time I go to the grocery store anyway, I'm always buying extra items to add to my emergency food cache, my food stores. And then kind of alternating on and off. So for each month, food one month, and then the next month, get some more batteries, get some candles, get whatever. The next month, maybe a little bit more ammo, and just kind of stage it out and just kind of in intervals do that so that I'm accruing all of these various things for myself. I kind of do that anyway. So yeah, that's how I would do that. It's a good question. It's best luck until it says no more. Song Snuff the Rooster played on the radio the day pulled your dad off the vent. Damn. Sorry to hear that, man. Alice in Chains, yeah. Great band. Great band. Rip. Joe, if you're doing 50 a month, you're gonna smoke some extra booze. Apocalypse, no fun sober. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I get that factors into food stores too, you know. Alcohol, especially high strength alcohol, high alcohol content, you know, you can use it as an antiseptic and ad hoc. It's a good bartering tool too, you know. Um, I made a video a while back talking about Flask for an emergency small emergency water supply, but also it's good to have a little bit of hooch on you. And there was a discussion on the Reconnaissance podcast not that long ago with a MacV Sog guy who said he kept a flask of brandy with him for various reasons like that. So it's not a bad idea to have. Same with smokes, good bartering tool. Apart from those of us who do smoke the filtered tube of doom, it's a good thing to have. It is. I agree. Yep, it is good currency. Lucky Strikes vodka. Class. All class. Shot and two smokes. No smokes and booze belong to me. Hey, you got your priorities. I can respect it. Anybody else anybody else in here watching your stuff, say hey in the chat, ask a question, whatever. I'm here to talk with y'all and answer questions and whatever. Wide range of stuff. It doesn't matter. Could be geopolitics, could be firearms, could be music, could be whatever, art. I don't really care. I like a lot of that stuff, and I have a lot of different interests apart from professional background as much as personal hobbies and whatever else. So I like to talk about all that kind of stuff. In a world of people tied to their electronic devices, with very few hobbies, get a hobby, get two hobbies, take up something that you find interesting, whether it's miniature painting and playing Warhammer, whether it's landscape painting, whether it's bird watching, whatever it is, pick up a hobby outside of what you do for work and other things, because it's important and you're using a different part of your brain, the creative side of your brain, apart from what you use in your more day-to-day stuff, technical, mechanical, whatever it is. That's important for brain health as much as your overall wellness and just becoming a renaissance man. And I mean that for whoever, men, women, being a renaissance man in your time. You know, there's a lot of people that are just boring as hell and don't have any hobbies. Pick up a hobby. Bored American, howdy. What's up, man? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate you. Joe says if they want smokes and booze, they can shine it up for them. Hey, quid pro quo, that's the barter. 2 glasses of vodka. Practical Rifleman, hobbies keep you sane. Absolutely, dude. And I've got multiple hobbies. I mean, all the music stuff that I do, that's still like a side gig and a hobby for me. That's not even my professional gig, because I work professionally in the security industry, in high-end advising and consulting, and as well as some executive protection and PMC contracting as that comes along too. So, that's my thing. And then the music stuff, I've been playing guitar since I was 9, and I'm only just a couple of years away from being 40. So you do the math. I've been doing that a long time too, and that started out as a hobby, and getting serious with it into a professional space over time as a musician. Like, that's really cool. That's still a side thing for me. And like all the bands I'm in, even the ones that are signed to more well-known labels and everything, like everyone's got day jobs still. So that's just the balance of how things are nowadays, unless you're really going to grind out with a band and do tours a lot, which are expensive, and all that. You gotta make ends meet otherwise. So do what have that other gig, have your other, primary professional thing that you do in whatever degree or amount that it is, to help supplement in the time that the music stuff, is doing its thing, and where there's lulls and whatever else. Joe picked up smoking, blacking out, and drunk sport fucking. Hey, they're hobbies. BV Luminous, be a polymath. Absolutely, man. Just another term really for Renaissance man, but it's a person who's well well versed in a number of different things and a proficiency level, whether it's hobbies or otherwise. Be that Renaissance person. Be an interesting person. And just do the things, do all the things. Board American question: how do you feel about baby boomers that compare to Gen Z to their own adolescence? Not quite sure what you mean there, but as far as like differences, I mean, there's some big differences to like my parents or my grandparents compared to even me, and especially the younger people now. Because I'm in my mid, getting into late 30s here. um and there's even a little bit of a disconnect between people my age and people who are 18 to 24, kind of in that bracket. Some on the older end of that, are a little bit more similar in some of the mentality and things like that, but there is a big difference. I mean, the reliance on technology nowadays, and I get that too, especially for the work oriented stuff that I do and everything, but the reliance on technology and just the use of that is just way more than it was in the past. I mean, when I was in the army, so 2005 to 2008, digital cameras were still just really coming into their own at that point. Smartphones were not a thing. Like cell phones were, you know, Nokia brick phones, Motorola Razors, like all that. Like that was a thing. And then right at the end of when I was getting out, like the sliders and your Blackberries were getting more popular and stuff. We didn't have the smartphones like you do now. Facebook just started at that point too. That was just becoming a thing too. That was brand new. Like all these things, like the way tech has changed things in part is big, and you see that abundant reliance and immersion and inundation to technology that the younger people have today. It's useful for some things. You have a lot of information and tools at your fingertips, but at the same time, it's affected social skills and attention span and things like that. So moderation with my phone, when I'm out and about, unless it's for a work thing, when I'm out and about with my phone, I'm not using it besides to text and call. I don't use it for anything else. And that's a priority that I keep with that. I want to be engaged in my environment and in the people that I'm around. I'm not looking at my phone all the time, just dead to the world like a lot of people are nowadays. Um, so those are some things that people really need to do, and younger people nowadays need to get outside more with the community of prepared citizenry and things like that. Like it's good, younger dudes are getting out there, they're doing training and all that stuff. I like to see that. But just in general and leisure too, but also hobbies and other things, like get outside more, go explore, travel, take trips when you can. um, Even your localized area, there's a lot of stuff out there that just people have never seen before. Oh, hey, there's this restaurant I've never seen before and it's been here for 30 years. Go check it out. Just things like that. Go check out your local museums, your zoos, your parks, all that stuff. And get off of that technology a little bit. Like, I think that's something that's a big disconnect that people, to some degree of detriment, have nowadays. Um, and some of us a little bit older people, we see the use in it and we use it all the time too, obviously, but we don't necessarily have as much of our prioritization of that as much as other things and what's going on around us. um, and when it comes to like your baby boomers and stuff, I mean my parents are pretty tech savvy actually. So they use that stuff too, but they still have their other hobbies and stuff too, and they're doing a lot of things out and about. And there's a lot of things that younger people can learn from the older people, and there are some things that we can learn from younger people too, to various degrees. A lot of that's going to be more tech centric, but there's stuff that we can learn. When it comes to like internet slang and lingo and stuff, I mean, some of that's just absolutely dumb. Some of it, okay, whatever. If you can integrate it into your general social skills and conversation, whatever. But it's not like there's going to be a deep connection to that with some of the slang and trends that come around and cycle every couple of years, whatever. Let's see. I kind of rattled off there a little bit, so I'm gonna come back to the chat. That was a really good question, though. So thank you, Board American. BV Luminous, true sanity is the ability to remain sane with nothing, absolutely nothing. That's true. Or are you insane? I don't think you're insane, BV. You're a pretty well-rounded guy. Joe, still mad when teenage shows had mouth off to me in Spanish and start talking, holstered shirt off in the middle of the road and ran in, hid behind a lady cop. What a punk. Yeah, I mean that's hopefully they had insurance, because if they didn't, they're screwed more than you are. Hopefully, again, I don't know if you had insurance or not. Work on blending, interested covered in trying to work on blending in. Yeah, blending in is important. Again, regional application applies for blending in. Living in a northern state like you and I do, Joe. I'm in the Great Lakes area. You're over there, closer to the West Coast and the Rockies and stuff. People wear flannel. People, this and this and that. Just wear what other people are wearing. And you'll blend in. Hoodies are fine, whatever. Twin Arrows, yo yo yo. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for joining in. Appreciate you. Board American says, by compare, I mean how the pace of life goes. When they could get a job and buy a house, support a family, and now it's pretty difficult in comparison. And I've seen them call Gen Z lazy due to it. The pace has changed. It is a little faster pace nowadays. And unfortunately, because of economics, how they are nowadays, some things like homeownership are becoming much more difficult to attain. I'm still renting, you know. Now, granted, I lost a bit of money back in '08, partial stock market collapse and stuff. And that was a bad time to get out of the military too, but it is what it is. That wasn't my call because of medical. Um, and just things like that have happened. So there are some catalysts there, but at the same time, it's a matter of prioritization and mindset with it too. It is still attainable, but um, younger people, and it is just a fact of it. Younger people do have a prioritization on convenience more than anything. Um, they spend a lot more money on a lot of various things instead of trying to save more money and put it aside to get property and things like that. Having served in the military, I have I'm fortunate to have those earned benefits to use a VA home loan and things like that, which is a really good incentive to be able to work towards getting a property. I tried to close on one a while back. The realtor was not versed in the VA home loan and was not cooperative. It fell through. That really sucked. There's another property I was looking at, but it ended up getting bought probably 2 weeks before I was going to work with my realtor and putting an offer in. So sometimes it's timing, but it's also just prioritization in general, really. BV Luminous difficult. Joe still talking about the accident and the assholes that you had to deal with. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. Sister laughed her ass off. Twitter arrows, keep your head and eyes up, keep going hand free, and stay off your phone. Yep, facts. BV 3 years ago, I was looking at buying a 300K house. Damn, couldn't afford that anymore, and I've changed nothing about my bills except lowered them. That's good. Keep your bills low. Got to keep your bills low. Yeah, and that's the thing. Twin Arrows and BV, you're right. The economy is just crazy right now. I mean, my grocery bill is twice as much as it normally would be because of prices right now. And property values, like what some of the properties for sale around here at the prices they're going for are not worth what they're being listed as. It's crazy how much this is negatively affecting everybody in the country. Can afford it, money you make, anyone else gonna make it with that now? Yeah, right. Touch grass, gotta touch grass. Born America financially difficult. Yeah, it is. And the change of society's natural dynamic shift towards a chronically online society. Yep, exactly. It's a big part of it. An extra grind. Hey, brother. Thanks for tuning in, man. Most important use of technology at this point is understanding accumulating Bitcoin. I have some reservations with crypto. A, it's too volatile for my liking. B, I like tangible, especially after what I experienced in '08 with the market. Gold and silver, and of course brass and lead. But gold and silver is a big one for me. Those are some assets that I invest in. Twin Arrows act like you're poor, can't afford anything. I mean, being conservative with your spending and stuff, is not a bad thing. It allows you, it affords you, once you can accrue and build a little bit of reserve money, because most people don't have more than $500 to a grand in their savings account. Young people anyway, even some people my age don't have that. Um, you need to build that up to have an emergency cushion for yourself, for one. But also that's going to help you in the long run, with your credit score and a number of other things too. Um, got to work at it. So you do have to be very financially smart nowadays. Joe Morgan, ain't no one gonna call punk or any other stuff name. This is fist fight words. Oh yeah, for sure. Everyone's agreeing with Joe, definitely. BB, oh DJ, no. Oh shit, we'll face zero fucking consequences. Yeah, and that's unfortunate because hey, life is all about choices, and accountability is a big thing, and it should be a alongside context. The word context, accountability should be at the forefront of a lot of things for a lot of people, and entities out there. We all know why. You got faulted, Joe. Jesus Christ, man. That's another thing. If y'all can get dash cams in your cars, do it. It helps with for insurance from court purposes. That's pretty screwed up. Torneros, bouncer at a bar. Oh yeah, yeah, I know this story. Torneros. For those that don't know, ain't helping any of those clowns. Yeah. Thanks, Board American. Yeah, I really like to think things through, and for a lot of people, it's a learned process. Now, there's a lot of good information out there from people who have learned from their mistakes and learned what's good and what isn't to do. And people should be looking into that information and advice. But for most people, it's a learning process. It's the same with the education system too. As terrible as it is right now, especially public education, it was not like this when I was in public education back in the day. Um, like you still had home economics classes and stuff. Like I remember in that one, it showed you how to balance a checkbook, which nobody balances a checkbook anymore, really, unless you're an older person. Um, but things like that, like you should learn how to do your taxes in high school, when you're starting to work and stuff. Um, you should be able. It should be mandatory to take a partial auto shop. Learn how to check your fluids in your car. Things like that. Simple things. Home economics too. Learn how to change a light bulb. I literally know college age kids nowadays that cannot change a light bulb. Um, things like that. Like property management here loves me because I know how to take care of stuff. I know how to change the flow valve in the toilet. I know how to change light bulbs, like all that stuff. Like they don't have to worry about me. They go deal with the other people who try and install a bidet on their toilet and then fuck up their plumbing and stuff, and like all that stuff. It's like, dude, don't do that, for one, not in an apartment building, but also like what are you doing, like that's the stuff that people need to learn as far as real world application stuff. Like unless you're going into a specialized field where you need to use calculus, no one's ever going to fucking use that. Basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, that's a lot of what people are going to use outside of certain trades, and specialized jobs, and when you get into advanced fields of education and stuff, um, you don't use that stuff. So it needs to be more practically geared and inclined, to help people be more successful in life after they're outside of the babysitting education program, base education program. Joe, figured it off easy. At the lady cop ran my name almost through. She gave me shit back. It was the only person. Warning in your next file from home. What are you doing, Joe? What are you doing? BB, screw you if anyone trying to hurt me. That's the problem. Otherwise, not my problem. Yeah, yeah. Most of it is the prices of everything else around living, not necessarily the cost of a mortgage. No, exactly. Property value prices, cost of goods in general nowadays. You see what's happening to the auto market too right now. People are not buying vehicles. They're way overpriced. They're under quality. Number of things. They don't make them like they used to, as the adage goes. Monster at saving. Could do things most others can to survive, and the country does. Yeah, for sure. An extra grind. Hey, cool channel, bro. Got a medical retirement in '08 after a Lone Bravo deployment to Iraq. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Extra grind. Also, former 11 Bravo. And yeah, I got out on medical. Not by choice. It just, that's just how the army was then. Um, yep, exactly. Very similar story. And it's a very similar story for a lot of us. Also, the toxic exposure injury on top of it. So that's great, but it is what it is. So you're in good company here, Axe Grind, brother. Yeah, we've talked in the past a little bit in comments in your videos, so I appreciate you being here, man. Joe, that lady cop is very friendly. She kept staring. Joe, you're funny, dude. I love you. Board American school should absolutely be a life learning course more than anything else, really. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously it's important to learn history, like objective, documented history, um, and a number of other things, base mathematics and all this stuff. Picking up a language is good too, honestly. I speak a couple of languages fairly fluently, and then I know a couple of more to an abridged, version. And I like teaching myself language too, but that's important too. But yeah, like auto shop, basic woodworking, home economics is a really big one. I can't stress that one enough. Know how to fucking cook, know how to do basic maintenance around your place, things like that. Yeah, it's just God, it's so important, and just people do not have those life skills. So then you have to look at all these, kind of going back to technology. People look at these like life hack, life skills videos on YouTube. Useful tools, but you should be learning in those. You should be learning those stuff things from an earlier age. Um, Yeah, learn how to change the battery in your smoke detectors. Absolutely. A lot of smoke detectors have an integral battery that you can't remove, though. So then you have to end up replacing the whole unit. So there is that too. But yeah, no, absolutely, dude. Um, Joe, you want to teach kids something useful? Take away their phone and tell them sink or swim. Yeah, exactly. Crash course, immersion, learn one, do one, teach one. That's a mantra I stand by. That's something I learned in the military back in the day, and that's something that I think is a good mantra for a lot of people to stand by, and implement in their lives too. Practical Rifleman rebuilt your toilets today. Nice, nice, dude. That's what I love hearing that stuff. I know you're renovating your place right now, which is awesome. I can't wait once I do have a place of my own. Because my intent is, I mean, with the VA home loan, it's complicated to do a new construction loan with it, so I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to get land and a property that I want, with a house that I'm okay with living in for the time being, and then I'm going to renovate the hell out of it. I'm going to turn it into a kind of a hybrid Irish style, like stone cottage kind of thing. Um, I want to have a home that's constructed with materials that are not flammable and will not get blown over with, you know, EF0 winds, storm winds, that kind of thing. Like, I want it to be something that is going to last for a long, long time and does not burn. Um, let's see, Joe, Idaho law be a big road no matter how much an asshole is on has a right away. It doesn't matter. Blew a light and was going 20 over. Ooh, yeah. They don't have cameras on their they don't have cameras on the uh street lights there, do they? Metal for breakfast. Hey dude, thanks for tuning in, man. Agreed. Trades are always needed and smart to know. Yeah, exactly. Even it just base maintenance, but then learning trades. We really need trades for our infrastructure nowadays. Trades are highly underrepresented. Everyone wants to do tech jobs and all that stuff. I do physical security stuff. Cybersecurity stuff is not my forte. I know a little bit, but cybersecurity is not my thing. Um, I'm a physical security guy. And even that is becoming a little bit less now. Um, there's no, there's not going to be a real loss in the long run for that sector that I'm in, but the cyber and IT is exploding right now, and it is all over the place. That's good and fine, but We need people to repair potholes, to fix bridges and build bridges. We need people to do those things, build homes properly. Increase the quality of vehicle production, like everything across the board, energy, all that stuff, everything across the board. We need those trades. We really do. Craftsmen, carpenters, all that stuff. We absolutely need more of those people. And we need to get the younger people interested in those things. They see these videos online and like, oh, that's really cool. Like, hey, you can do this. You just need to put some effort in and expand your knowledge base, and go for it. Joe Morgan, listen, good and clean, almost 10 years young. Joe absolutely had an axe to grind. Changed my ways. Yeah, good. That's good, man. I agree with BV, Joe. You should, yeah, absolutely. I know you're going to fight that in court. You need to take that to court because that's ridiculous. Yep, world needs ditch diggers. Absolutely. I would much sooner do that than work in a fucking McDonald's. We don't need fast food. We need people like that, though. Not joking. Kept looking. You're reading blush. I got a feeling. Should have got her number, dude. Well, hopefully she gave you a card, business card. No. Metal for breakfast. Teach one. Nice. Like to learn. Yeah. Learn one. Do one. Teach one. That is a really good thing to implement into your life. Axe to grind. Butchering skills are often overlooked, but know how to do it is super valuable. Absolutely. I love hunting. I've been hunting a very long time. My grandpa taught me to hunt. My dad's not a big hunter. I don't know if he's ever gone hunting actually. But it's my mom's dad, my grandpa. He taught me how to hunt and shoot from an early age. So I credit him to that, to introducing me to that world. And he was really big on like Tom Clancy books back in the day, and big into war movies and action films. So that's how I got an affinity for those things when I was young too, and understanding that the military was an option in my life. Apart from all those other things, so he was a big gearhead too. He drove fuel and grain trucks for the majority of his professional life, and also worked on cars and stuff. So he, I was 15 years old, and my first car that I bought, 91 Pontiac Grand Am 2-door coupe. We 5-speed manual. We rebuilt the transmission together in his garage. So is like that kind of stuff. Like it is invaluable. Those kinds of skills that people are not learning nowadays. Either from family or from a base education system, or in some cases even the advanced education system, and there's just people just aren't taught these things and just don't know them, and they need to. But yeah, butchering skills absolutely valuable. You gotta, if you're gonna hunt, you better know how to dress your game, and your fish when fishing and everything too. But we need butchers too. We do. We need butchers. Meat packing plants. They're understaffed. And you're seeing a lot of foreign workers come in for that kind of thing. Same with agriculture. Same with farming. Big one. You're seeing that a lot too. Large corporate farms have a lot of underpaying foreign laborers that are working on their farms too. BV Luminous back. I don't know what to do next. Hey, I mean, you've got some pretty good gigs going on, BV. I mean, you've got your hobbies and you've made that into a little bit of a profession, from what I can tell, apart from the other things you do. But what are you interested in? What are you interested in, and what can you pursue? If you need to, write a list out. Like these are the things I'm interested in, and these are the things that I could, potentially make a career I enjoy out of. Do like a little whiteboard spider web, a brainstorm, something. Just kind of work at it. You'll end up finding something in there that's like, hey, this is actually a really good idea, and I want to do this, and then you can keep working at it. I guess figure out what I can't do right anymore because something is still wrong with my back. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, when it comes to injuries and medical stuff, limitations are a thing. I get that. Should everyone continually, even as I get older, work with pushing forward and working towards maintaining a good level of health and stuff? Absolutely. But with injuries that aren't fixed or can't be fixed or whatever. Like I get that too because I've got some of those too. Um, so yeah, it is knowing like, hey, this is not gonna work, but this is gonna work. So yeah, I get it, man. Build another V8 car. Oh, dude, that would be sick. What kind of car? Because I really like the Bandit Trans Am. They're notorious for leaking oil and transmission fluid like a mother, but the Bandit Trans Am is fucking cool, man. I love old muscle cars. BV could make it a profession, but it's more of a hobby. Yeah, right. No, I get that. We'd probably rather build cars for people who don't care about money, but I don't. But I don't care. I don't care about money. Or do you mean you do care about money? I'm not sure what you mean there, but yeah. I mean that's cool, man. That's cool. You have that mechanical inclination, man. That's good stuff. Zero's a tool in a professional world can compensate with proper liquid capital. Yep, true. Very true. Also, anyone else new to the live stream, say hey in the chat, ask a question, whatever it may be. We're going deep into some things here, but it's all good conversations. Really, any topic is not off the table, so go ahead and throw something out there. We'll do a heavy car. Owned 3 F bodies at once when he was younger. Oh, nice. Very cool, man. I'm still trying to find my mom her dream car. She wants a 64 and a half Mustang. Baby blue with the white soft top. BV. I mean, I would only want to take on a customer who just pays, but I don't like opulence. Oh yeah, for sure. And with that kind of work, it's good. You got to have good communication with the client, or as a business person and running a business, you have to have good communication. Whether the client's not as communicative or receptive or whatever, that's one thing. But from the business side of things, like communication is key. No football players, rock stars, or TV personalities. Hey, some rock stars are okay, man. Come on. And even some of those other personalities are okay. I can give a shit about football, yeah, for sure. But there are some guys in there, and there's a couple of guys that are former vets that have gone to football. They're okay. Do I care about football? No. Are they good people? That's all I care about. An axe to grind with respect to guitars. What's the deal with that fanned nut that came on your Jackson? Been out of the loop with guitars for the last 17 years. So with the it's an SL series, right? They started doing that with the SL series somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago. I can't really remember. It was after the Fender acquisition. But that's something they started doing. I mean, doesn't seem to affect anything, whether it's a straight cut nut or it's a fan cut nut for the guitar. Um, doesn't seem to affect anything. I'm not sure why they did it. It doesn't really do anything to increase or relax tension, since all the tension is in 3 points. It's at the bridge, it's at the nut, and it's at the tuning peg. So I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to alleviate some tension there, but I've never seen an issue whether it's a straight cut or a fan cut. So I don't know. It's just something that they just started doing a while back. I don't know, and it's only on certain models too, because I don't think they do it on the JS Dinkies or anything still, unless they are. I haven't looked at a lot of the new ones really. I mean, I just got that JSCR, but it's straight cut. It's a straight cut nut for that too. So I don't know. It's weird. Doesn't seem to really be a negative effect or anything. So I don't know. Just kind of interesting change though. I don't really know anything much about it or why they did it though. So can't fully answer that for you, unfortunately. BV, say people I work for want to build anything, real fuck you money people you would never guess have money. Oh yeah. Lay low, Gray man. Ugh. I don't like that term. Low profile. At an hexagon. It's a curious little detail that you've never encountered on any guitar before. I mean, I've seen it on other like guitars. I've seen it on like Kiesels and stuff. And a couple of others of those other more boutique or bougie brands and some models. I think I saw it on some older RS series Ibanez's from like 5, 6 years ago, but yeah, I don't see it all that often, so I don't know. Um, Joe, dude, I learned if you tap the power button instead of volume on your phone, it starts some SOS 911 call. Interesting. Must be a certain phone. What kind of phone do you have, Joe? BV Luminous, a redneck dude down the road who has cocaine scented 80s big block race boat at the lake one state over. Racing boats are kind of cool. Not big into boat racing, but that's cool. It's got a big old engine on it. Joe and BV. It ain't worth poking. It ain't worth smoking. Android Demon tell. Oh, okay, that's a decent phone. Android. I'm not an Apple fan. No. I like to buy like ruggedized, upbuilt phones because they're really the only phones that can handle me and like my everyday and just everything else. Like a lot of normal phones, I just can't do them. I have to have those ruggedized ones, which there's some really good ones out there that have good capabilities. But the Android Demon's a pretty sweet phone. That's an interesting feature, though. I don't know if you could change it in your settings or not. You might want to look into that, play around with it a little bit. Really enjoy getting tankered like the XL Delta. Causing ecological disasters over there. Shit, man. What are you doing? No. It's good. That's funny. Anyone else new that has come in or that has been watching and hasn't said anything in the chat, please say hello in the chat. Ask a question. We don't bite too hard. You know, I, you can ask whatever. There's nothing off the table here, really. You want to ask me about my job? You want to ask me about music stuff, being a musician? You want to ask me about whatever? I'll try and have an answer for you. And I like good questions. I like good questions that provoke a little bit of thinking. And well thought out questions, just as much as whatever. You want to tell a joke, whatever. We're here to have fun and enjoy each other's company and have good discussions, and I always like good questions and all that. So but yeah, again, band shirt of the day, Dragged in the Sunlight. Good band, check them out. What's up, Cat? Okay, yes, okay. Cat's gonna make an appearance here. Recently, Bunkerfield dies. 6606, an oil truck rollover. Made the newspaper up here, even national news. Oh, wow. That was the same day that Slayer album came out. Diablos, was that Diablos and Musica? Yeah. And Hexagon, did you hear about the mass shooting at the VA? Got rated at 10%. Oh, damn. Damn. That was a good one, dude. Dark, but good. Forest 81. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for saying hey. Question: are pistol-mounted red dots worth it? 45 years old, been shooting irons on pistols my whole life and hate change. Picked up a Glock 47 with the MOS. It's up to you, man. I mean, there's a little bit of a learning curve with dots, and depending on the dot that you get. Um, Professionally with pistols, we never use dots. So I'm kind of like you. I've been shooting irons on pistols my entire life, really, in professional career. Up recently, I had opportunity to shoot a little bit more with dots on pistols. I also live pretty close to the Vortex headquarters, so I'll go over there sometimes. And their USPSA shooting team is really cool. They're really cool dudes, and they got some bougie setups. and the new Vortex Defender red dot came out. It's pretty cool dot. But really, it's up to you, man. I mean, flip a coin. If if you're already comfortable and proficient with shooting irons, I mean, stick with that. I've got a Gen 5 Glock 23 that I run as my everyday carry, my CCW, and it's got a cut for optics and all that. I don't run optics on it. Again, because I'm just sticking to what I know and what I'm good at as far as just all of the time that I have running irons. But if you have a pistol where you want to play around with a dot on it, I mean, go for it. You may end up liking it more than you think. Um, uh, Again, a little bit of a learning curve with it, but it's I mean, they're okay for what they are. I don't really like the real big block dots on top of pistols. They look weird and they're kind of a pain when like, everyday carrying and stuff, but some of the other dots out there are cool for that. Um, I would just, if you're going to do it, just, yeah, just pick one up and just kind of get some time behind it to really adapt to it and learn it. And then see if it's something that you end up liking or not. If you don't like it, you can just sell the optic, you know? No, really not a big hit on your wallet if you end up not liking it and selling it. So, um, I personally stick to irons though, but try it out. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You don't like it? No hair off your back, really. It's a good question though. Joe, beer may be a slower blackout, but vodka is easy mode hangover unless you have 64 shots 2 hours later tonight. Quit drinking in the week. Jeez, boy. Jeez. I mean, I love my Slavic session where, I'm sitting with the boys drinking vodka. The key is to snack while you're drinking throughout the session, okay? Otherwise, yes, you're going to wake up with the most atrocious hangover you've ever had. You got to drink water too, or kvass, whatever. But the key with vodka drinking is you have to snack while you're drinking. BV, every war we won, didn't use dots. Every war we've lost uses dots. Fuck y'all, I'm going irons. Forest 81, appreciate the input. Yeah, man, absolutely. It was a good question. Yeah, I mean, between all the contracting work that I've done and everything, and then my personal guns and stuff, yeah, I just stick to irons. I mean, I have no problem shooting a pistol irons. I have shot at pistol irons up to 100 yards and can hit target. Most people are not going to be shooting that far with a pistol with irons. Half of the time, it's going to be that whole 21-foot rule thing. It's going to be somewhere between point blank, within 3 feet, out to about 21 feet. Half of that is point shooting. The other half of it, you may have the time while trying to control your adrenaline dump to get a little bit of sight picture. You need to have target focus, but a little bit of acquisition with your irons. It's gonna be quick, and yeah, so it's whatever. Try it out. If you don't like it, it's whatever. Stick to what you know. Then and that's the other thing for people here. I don't use tritium. I don't use like tritium or illum or anything on my sites either. Painted just white dots. I also do the painted dot on on striker fire pistols on the back plate of striker fire pistols. That's a quick acquisition dot, more for again kind of point shooting reference and assistance. Joe, still mad that punk talk mad shit, but when I'm stripping down in front of cops taking my gun off, he wouldn't box me yet. He called me Metacorn. Hey, it's a cultural thing, isn't it? No, I don't know, man. I think and that's some people behave like that when they know they're in the wrong, and something like that happens, and emotions are running high and stuff. And I understand that you're mad about things too and everything, but gotta try and keep the level head about it, which it sounds like you did. So props to you. I'd be mad about it too, absolutely. I was driving to a work site for security detail tasking one day, And I was in the middle lane on the highway. It's 3-lane highway. We were going over a bridge of one of the major rivers in the state, and a semi truck on the left lane in the fast lane started coming over on me. And then there was a truck with a janky trailer on my right side. He started coming over on me. The big lugs on the front wheel on the passenger side chewed up my wheel and rim on the back on the rear driver's side of my truck. Scoured up the tire a little bit, but didn't pop it. Thankfully, it was still drivable, but that really sucked. So I get it. I've only been in one other accident. That was actually still when I was in high school. Lady in a and that was with my granddam. Lady swooping squatted me, came in with the pickup truck, swooped in front of me, and then slammed on her brakes, and I accordion the shit out of my car. We were able to fix it though, me and my grandpa, which is cool. My grandpa and I, which was cool. Her truck was fine, but she tried to do that whole insurance fraud thing on me. So cops were seeing through that though, so that was cool. But I get it. It sucks. Force 81 could crush targets at 100 yards with dual 1860 armies back in the day. Hey, that's sick, man. Old school wheel guns are cool, dude. I actually like Webley's quite a bit, but their the cylinder timing is very easy to go out of timing with those. Really cool pistols, though. I like those. Fun fact: under U.S. law, Glocks are a double action pistol. Yeah, because of the trigger design. And yeah, an extra grind. I don't use lights on my pistols because so really on the muzzle flash to illuminate the environment. Right. I don't use a pistol. I don't use a light on my pistols either. Handheld light, if anything. I keep my pistol clean. Easier to conceal for CCW EDC considerations. Also, less to go wrong on the pistol. If I really need to employ a light, handheld light. That kind of thing. Kind of old school, but it works. Joe, don't write a check with your mouth. With your mouth, your ass won't be able to cash. Right, exactly. Yeah. Joe, your father made golden gloves in 1961. 2 Korean War vet uncles and him jumped you in the family. That's pretty awesome, man. My dad's dad served in the army. My grandpa, my dad's dad, he had served in the army right around the Korea period. And then my mom's dad, my grandpa, who's the really handy guy, he didn't. He missed the draft by, I think, 200, like a 200 number set. It was a really small amount. He missed the Vietnam draft by that much. One of his brothers went, and then one of my other great uncles went, and he was a Air Force medic. Took an AK round right through the butt cheeks. But yeah, there's some of that history in my family too. A couple of my cousins and myself all went in the military after 9/11 during the GWAT and stuff. BV Luminous, should I put an exoskeleton on your 2021 carry? No, I it's up to you, man. Or lift it. It's up to you, man. No, I say no, but that's up to you, man. Try it. Try it out. If you don't like it, change it back. Use Harry's method. Not all pistols have a rail. Exactly. You always need the light, but you don't always need the pistol at the ready. I mean, either or really. And that's why I say handheld light and pistol. I don't like to combine those. For a pistol, I don't like to combine those. Right, Joe. I get it. Anyone else new who has joined the live stream? Welcome. Say hello in the chat. Ask a question, whatever it may be. Doesn't matter. There's nothing off the table there. And thanks for joining. Appreciate you. You can check the pin comment too. But yeah, say hey and ask a question in the chat. I already answered all the community post questions, so now I'm just talking with everyone here. I believe you, Joe. Practical Rifleman. Hell yeah, brother. But yeah, anyone else have any other questions? Fire away. I've already been going for an hour and 5 minutes, which is awesome. That's been flying by. Been some great questions and great conversations here. So I appreciate those. Keep firing away. And then again, anyone new coming in, say hey. I've got live chat on, so I should be able to see everyone. Unfortunately, sometimes some people who have been shadowed by the tube, I cannot see. Unfortunately, I don't know why. Sometimes I'll see it in the replay, but for live chat, they just don't show up sometimes, which is weird. But it seems like I'm seeing everyone's comments here. So, but yeah, say hey, ask a question, whatever it is. Could be about firearms, could be about music, whatever, whatever it is. Does not matter. Anything. We're going to try and answer some life questions here. If we haven't answered them already. Questions. Fire away. Anything you got. Also, hydrate. Drink water. Slow mode is on. About a 10-second. I think have it set for 10-second for slow mode, but yeah, fire away. Ask questions, whatever. General comments, whatever it is. You got a joke? Tell a joke. I'm always down for a good joke. Anyone joining? Say hello. Welcome. Say hello in the chat. Ask a question. I'm here for about another hour. So these live streams go for 2 hours. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Practical Rifleman. European or African? Great reference. Love that movie. The castle. Ah! That's a good one. Great reference. Monty Python was so good. Those guys are getting up there in age, much like a lot of our rock star peers. We're slowly losing them, sadly. An extra grind. Friendly reminder that everyone needs to watch Braveheart at least once a year. Facts. I'm going to up that dose and say twice a year. Same with 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, and Black Hawk Down. Both of those also need to be watched at least once a year. I try to watch 13 Hours on the anniversary of Benghazi, as well as Black Hawk Down on the anniversary of Gothic Serpent. There's so many good movies, though. Also, Die Hard. It is part of the Xmas celebrations. It is an Xmas movie, no matter what anyone says. Yol. Joe, feel much better after conversating with your third wife. You used to tell me you needed therapy because I don't want to talk. I said I do, just not with you. Burn, savage. Joe, AX that never got any died for principles because of a Judas. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stick to your principles. That's why I don't do defense federal contract security contracting right now. I just can't agree with this administration. It was much better before, and if we get a better administration in, I will consider it again. But right now, private client only. As far as that side of my work life goes, yeah, private client only. Got to stick to your principles. Practical Rifleman. Me and some buddies went to the Tower of London when we were about 17 or 18. Walked around. like they did. Had a dude with some drumsticks doing the coconut rhythm. Nice. That's awesome. That's hilarious, dude. We did it in high school quite a bit too, actually. Somebody came in with a couple of shells of coconuts, and we would do that to each other just to clown around. It was good stuff. That's good stuff. Anyone else new joining? Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Say hey in the chat, ask a question, whatever it is. Nothing's really off the table. We are here to hang out, talk with each other, ask questions, have a good time. Here for about another 50 minutes. 50. And drink water. Everyone drink water. Questions. Throw some out there. Or a joke, tell a joke, whatever. I'm good with those too. Whatever you want to do. Questions about music, questions about firearms, questions about why you are the way you are. I don't know. Whatever, anything. Joe, you're feeling fine, drinking very slow. Good. That's good. Moderate. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. This is a good time. It's a good time. I do have a bottle of mead calling my name. Forest 81, guitar I sold that I missed the most. Actually, all the guitars that I've sold, I don't miss. All the guitars I kept, that I really liked, all the guitars that I really liked, I kept. I'm a tard for the Jackson Dinkies, so I own a few of those, and then I have a Ibanez Ergo bass as well. I had a Dean guitar at one point. I forget the model. Had a flat body style, kind of looked a little bit like it was like a PRS. It played okay. Neck was a little too thick for my liking, so I got rid of that one. And then one of my first guitars, it was one of those old Ibanez G10s, kind of an entry level guitar. Fun to play, but I ended up selling it to this girl who was starting to learn guitar. She needed a beginner guitar, so I sold that one to her. And then yeah, that's about it. Like all the other guitars that I own are ones I wanted to keep and I have kept even through thick and thin of it all. So mostly Jacksons. I have an Ibanez bass, but yeah, Jackson guitars. I love my dinky guitars. That is my go-to. And like the video I did not too long ago, the 01 Dinky, one of the best guitars ever made, in my opinion. Just really well made and holds up. I've had that thing for 20 years. That one was made in 01. I bought it used in 04. So I've had it for 20 years now, actually, as of this month. So that's pretty wild. But I love those guitars. Joe was in a mood last night. Asked metal me slamming 10-point tall boys at 90 degrees. Ugh. Oh. Warm beer. That's an Aussie thing, man. Practical Rifleman had a 2002 JS 1000. Ooh, nice. When your left hand got smashed, just sold it. Are you a lefty? You a lefty player? Practical Rifleman? I didn't know that. BV Luminous, one you miss the most is a RG 350EX. Oh, nice. Had an 06 Gibson Les Paul. Yeah, I'm not a Les Paul fan. I do not like Les Pauls or Gibsons. 59 reissue though. That's a pretty guitar. I just don't like how they play. Joe never played music. Your second wife used to sing you to sleep, and with her guitar, she 5-foot Mexican stripper. Maybe 100 pounds, never spoke English unless she sang, and she's saying some good shit. Nice. Sounds like a keeper, honestly. That's cool. I bet she was smoking, dude. BV had a Whetstone Dimension 4 that was pretty bitchin' too. Ooh, a Westone, sorry. That's cool. I haven't seen Westone in a while. Extra grind after we played the SL2MG hardtail. I had to break the bank and buy it. OD green. Dude, I love the color of that SL, dude. That is a beautiful OD green. I really like that. It's like I saw with the new release of Dinkies, they had like that neon green and neon purple, and those are so butt ugly to me. If they would release that in OD like that, or even like the like my '01 DKMGT in that like trans black color, dude, oh, I would be all over it. But black is fine, so that's why I picked up the JSCR Dinky 7-string black because it looks good. I like the maple finish of that fretboard too. Yeah, I really like that OD, man. That's a beautiful guitar. Practical Rifleman, I know you're right-handed. Left hand got smashed and it got hard to fret. Oh yeah, no, I get that too. My pinky was broken when I was little, so it kind of does this like locking thing, like it just like clicks at this knuckle. So that took a lot of time to kind of work out how I could play best for me, at least for that. And you've seen me play, you know, I can do the, my trills and hammer offs like a motherfucker with my pinky. So, but it took a long time to get that back up and get that worked through, and it still clicks all the time. I feel you, man. Though that sucks. BV Luminous, yeah, I didn't care for the Gibson, but it sounded great. Fair enough. Forest 81, oh no kinds over the years. You're a Telly guy. Okay. Uh, I don't know if you've ever heard the band Winter Sun, but their frontman he shreds on tellies. Some of the best use of a telly in metal that I've seen. It is fantastic. It's more like you're like more power metal, and like symphonic kind of folky power metal kind of stuff with a little black metal thrown in there. But Winter Sun, really good band. But yeah, frontman plays a telly. Um, Mad respect for people who can shred on those. Again, the neck isn't really something that I like on them, but that's cool, man. BV the West Tone was white with a red lightning bolt. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, man. Board American with a question. My goals for the next 15 years. Ooh. Um, just want to keep up the work tempo as best I can. And like I was talking about earlier, I want the goal in the next couple of years, ideally within this next year, is to secure property in a house. That's what I'm aiming for the short term, and work with that property and sustain it, do a little homesteading, build myself a shooting range on it, things like that. Long term, just keep doing it up, keep working as long as things don't get too out of hand in the world and all of the spiciness, and I have to go do other things for the interim if that were to happen. But just keep up the work tempo with band and music stuff. Eventually, with some of the projects, it would be really cool to play some really cool festivals. Um, I like playing local shows on, here and there. But the local bar circuit can get really just tiring, and I don't want it to be a consistent thing. Like shows every once in a while. Um, I'm much more into the bigger picture with that kind of stuff. Um, and just what capabilities that are with bands, especially bands that I'm in that are signed with labels and have a global reach and stuff. So some of the projects at various times in the future, um, new and more established, would be to play some really big festivals and stuff, and maybe do some tours too. I would not mind doing some tours with the good people that I have around me. So um, those are some goals too. But really, just keep up with everything that I'm doing, and just put out quality stuff and music wise, and then just keep up work and keep quality work going, and keep up with all my hobbies and everything else and just stay active and stay as healthy as possible. Um, yeah, I am a smoker. I don't care what anyone's opinion is on that. Um, yeah, it's not good for you. I don't care. Uh, it's my only vice, really. So I am healthy otherwise. My doctors say so. They're very pleased with my health status. So for what it is, all things considered. So those are some of my goals though in the long term, short term and long term. So it's a good question, man. BV, the Ibanez was black. Yeah, my Ibanez was black finish as well, black gloss. It was a fun guitar. Practical Rifleman. These days, I have a '93 American Deluxe Telly. Nice. Garage built Strat. Oh, cool. And a couple Squires. Also got a Gibson G45. Damn, dude. You got a little collection there. All right. You just credit yourself. You're a good guitar player, man. I want to hear more from you. I'm for a to smoke. Yep. Filter tube of doom time. I'm right there with you, Joe. J4 Practical Rifleman J45. Oh, nice, cool, man. If you're considering another guitar, get a Jackson Dinky. Come on, man. Join the Dinky side. Seriously, I just love them. They play so nice. A little bit thinner neck, and you can just fly on those fretboards, man. I just those and the SLs and soloists and stuff, man. The Jackson Dinkies and soloists and the SLs, like, oh, it's so good, dude. Ugh, such a tard for the Dinkies. Anyways, anyone else new joining, welcome. Say hey in the chat. Ask a question, please. I'm here for Q&A and a chat and talk and hang out with everyone. So ask a question. Dinky is way better than RG. I agree. Absolutely. 100% Exagrind. You know what's up, bro. It's good stuff. Damn, hour 22 already. Time is flying by. I'm having a lot of fun with you guys today. You've been having great conversation, been asking great questions. Really get me going on some good tangents, which hopefully there's some good stuff in there. I'm sure there is. Useful for people, but you know, yeah, and personal questions don't bother me, as much as the other general questions talking about various things and topics, you know. And when it comes to like all the tactical gear and all that stuff, it's like, you find what you like, you find what's practical for you and own it. Work with it, make sure it's fitting your needs. That's the baseline. Outside of that, I don't really care. I've worked in an industry where you are given what you're given, work with it. And you either make it work or you sink, So Joe, text metal for your number or find my email. We can swap stories as people drunk, Joe. Hell yeah, man. I think you're on Discord too, Joe, aren't you? I am on Discord, so let me know if you have a server or wherever you're at there too, and we can connect that way too and talk in DMs and stuff. An extra grind. New strings arrived today. DR Dragon Skins. Yes! Yes! DRs, man. My favorite strings. Dragon Skins. DR High Voltage. Nice. Nice. An Elixir Polyweb all in 9. Oh, 9 gauge. I play 11 gauge. I like just a little bit heavier gauge. I was breaking 9s all the time. Not necessarily DRs, but I would break 9s all the time. So I like 11s. Especially for playing like metalcore and death metal and black metal and stuff. Black metal not necessarily as much, but I do like a heavier string even for them too. But it's just they hold up better. But DRs, man, best strings on the market in my opinion. They stay in tune for a long time, and you really have to be doing something either very right or very wrong to break them. So, Dragon Skins, love them. Black Widows, love them. Black Beauties, love those. The DDTs, love them. They're great. DR just best strings in the industry, in my opinion. Joe Morgan, tactical is bullshit. Rock a wheel, get with speed loaders, and smoke from your lip. Hey, I like my chest rigs and my LBEs. That's the game I really like. A little bit older school too. And that's when I was in the army. My training. We were in that trans. I was one of the last companies to go through training with the transitional equipment, going from your OG M81 US Woodland, which I still wear and use, as you see in the thumbnail, and LS web gear and stuff, and then moving into what was the god awful UCP ACU. I mean, I like the design of the ACU uniforms as far as pockets and all that stuff. They weren't well made though. But the UCP camouflage obviously is god awful. Unless you dye it brown or green, then it works good. And then like the interceptor system and everything with the full PALS and Molly integration with pouches and everything. Like I was in that transitional period, so I got the best and worst of both worlds with that. And it's same in contracting too. A lot of the time, it's a mix of either using a plate carrier system or a chest rig with a slick vest. I much prefer the chest rig and the slick vest. A little more old school, but it works, and no nonsense. I'm no nonsense with that kind of stuff. Practical ref, man. Well, I hate to go. We gotta run. Time to put the baby to bed. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, say hey to the fam for me. Thanks for tuning in, brother. I appreciate you. Liler, 1975. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Jacksons are great, but Japanese RGs are the katana of guitars. Now, I have and I did a video on this. My 01 Jackson Dinky DKM GT was a Japanese and US made Jackson Dinky. That is one of the best made guitars, in my opinion. Unfortunately, Jackson, I mean, they still have a little bit of Japanese production, but it's almost all moved to Indonesia, Korea, and China now, sadly. The Korean ones, if you can find them, those are well made. But yeah, it's not like it used to be with the Jacksons, but I still like them. I've got a CR, I've got a JSCR, which is a Chinese made 7-string dinky, and it plays fine. No complaints. I just need to change the pickups in it. Axagrind graduated 05. So yeah, we're the first company to graduate for betting in ACUs. Yeah. So it was early 06 was our infantry school graduation. It was February of 06. So I went and did 30th AG and started OSIT in October of 05. I spent that summer after I finished high school. I spent that summer working and finishing up with some of those jobs, some of the sound tech internships I had and stuff, and just kind of partying and traveling a little bit because I knew that's what I was going to do. So I wanted to make the best of it before I went in. So I took a couple of months to do those things, and then I went and joined. Yeah, off to the races. So yep, quartermaster refit. We started getting all the ACUs and everything. We were like, what is this? Oh, cool. We don't have to shine our boots anymore. That's kind of cool. But some of the other stuff, yeah. Well, we were still using Alice web gear and everything, and we still had M81 IBA vests mixed mesh with our ACUs and everything. It was an interesting time. Good times, best and worst of times. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Sorry, 06. Yeah, same time period. 05, they were starting to do the issuance of the ACUs and everything. So, but yeah, it was an interesting time period, man. Joe won't wear armor when see Jesus free, and that's fine. Minutemen in large need to have more of a recon type setup and mindset about things. Slip away. It's going to be much more unconventional and asymmetrical stuff. It's direct peer to peer. You're seeing what's going on in some of the global conflicts right now, and that is a slugfest of attrition with a lot more equipment than. But again, that's all military logistics, which Minutemen and private citizens do not have to whatever extent. Damn, Joe. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. An extra grind. No, I was not 258. I was Echo 219 Gladiators, 3rd Platoon Gladiators. That was my training company in Fort Benning. So we were like, because was 258 at the time? Were they in the white stack buildings, kind of like next to um were they the ones across from us, right across the street from us, because we were in the brick barracks. I can't remember if it was them or 254 that were in the white buildings, um, for overflow training companies because of the surge. Because we were right across, we were on Kinsman Road, we were right across from TMC 7. I can't remember if that was 258 or 254 that was right next to us. And then right on the other side was some of the sand pits and all that, and then the Eagle Tower was just down the way. And then at the time there were some trailer barracks too for overflow for airborne school and javelin school hold guys. Um, and then on the other side of that were some other companies, and then on the other side of the road to the north was the parade field, and then brigade was just up there too. I remember a lot of that like the back of my head, man. It's crazy. Joe, listen, just told me it was a bad plan. We had two real notices and snitching everything else. I mean, it is what it is, man. You had to do what you had to do at the time, right? Lessons learned, life lessons learned. You should write a book. An X grind. Okay, gotcha. 258 was a starship building at the end of the road taking off on Wildcat. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I gotcha. Yep, I remember. Yep. Yep. Yeah, you're right over there, man. Dude, it's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. Yep, TMC 7. Yeah, for us, TMC 7 was right just Little Hill, and then right across the road, TMC 7, and then right over from that was that little PX and the barber shop and all that, and then just up the way was the rec center and all that too. Yep. Did you get sent to Bliss? No, I ended up staying at Benning Baby actually. So I went to third ID 130 over on Kelly Hill. I was supposed to go to Germany, but because I had an X-ray contract, I ended up staying on Benning, waiting for the period where I could actually go to SFAS, which didn't end up working out. Ended up deploying with Third Herd, and that's when I got injured in '07. It is what it is. So yeah, no, I was a Benning baby. Got to do some other cool stuff though after I got injured. So what ended up happening was I got sent to it was called the STU at that time, which ended up getting broken up later on. But it was partially a holding unit, but partially also um, an infantry unit for TRADOC and Movement Center for Excellence coalition training programs, and other special event detail stuff. So that was really cool. So I got to work a little bit with the AMU, and then we worked with some of the coalition units, the Brits and the French and stuff, when they would come over to do training and stuff. So we got to help out with some of that, which was really cool. And then the other side of that was a hold for guys who had deployed and stuff and were waiting to get out of medical and things like that. And then that ended up getting separated right as I was getting out. That ended up getting separated into formerly the RHU, and then the STU portion of it got folded over into somewhere else for the Movement Center for Excellence and TRADOC. And so then the RHU was a whole unit for, and it was divided. It was a whole unit for, again, the guys that had deployments and experience and service time in that were getting out of medical and things like that. And then the other half was all of the shit bags that were getting kicked out or EPTS or whatever, because of prior football injuries that they lied about or whatever, and they couldn't do it. And then other problem people and stuff. So it kind of got divided up like that. And then right across from where that got relocated, there was the PTRP unit, with physical therapy and rehabilitation unit, as well. So it was kind of all in that area, which was near 30th AG actually, for a time. X-Grind. Okay, gotcha. Nice. You had an X-ray contract that ended up mechanized at Bliss. Yeah, yeah, and that's how it kind of works out. They had a certain quota, whether it was X-ray and they were going to send you to RIP or what turned into RASP for Rangers, or if they were going to hold on to you, keep you at your combat unit, your duty station, and then wait for enough time to go by, and then send you with a pool to go to SFAS. Yeah, it was the same deal for me. Similar stories, man, and it's the same story a lot of us had at the time. So, a lot of us went through that same exact stuff. Joe, you'll never snuff the rooster, cockadoodle fucking do. Love it, dude. Love it. Something going on with my camera there. I want to focus. 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 There we go. Okay. It wants to be a little blurry for some reason. Focus. Weird. Okay. BV Luminous, bro. Can't pay outright for the latest phone. WTF. Dude. Get a good, reliable phone and hold on to it as long as you can. And like I was saying earlier about like ruggedized phones and stuff, a lot of the time they cost less than the Galaxy or the iPhone or whatever. And a lot of the time it's got the same processor and components and stuff in it, and they run Android for the most part. Just go with one of those because you're going to save yourself a lot of money, and you're gonna have a phone that's going to last you a lot longer, both physically and just function wise. After a few years, could it start running slower? Yeah, but a lot of time with the ruggedized phone companies, they don't have that planned obsolescence as much as some of the other companies do. So something to think about. They want it on a plan, Walmart, I guess. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. You can shop around for some of the jailbroken phones too, so you can use whatever plan you want. Bet I could spend 1,500 on a phone and have it unlocked. I use Straight Talk. Okay, fair enough. Look at the what is it? The Caterpillar S60. So it's Caterpillar brand. It's an Android phone, S60. So it's a ruggedized phone. So you can freaking drop it out of a helicopter and it'll be okay. But that's a good phone. Really good processor on it and everything, and that's a pretty solid phone. Yeah, it's a little bit of a thicker boy, but at the same time, quality. It'll hold up. Focus, camera. What is your deal, camera? Now my smartphone is actually a flip phone, and no, it's not the new Razor, but it's pretty cool. It's small, so fits in the pocket a lot better, and it's ruggedized, so it holds up. It doesn't break nearly as easily. So it's pretty cool. But again, I keep my phone use pretty simple. You know, talk, text, and then some of the messaging apps and stuff. That's really all I use it for. Can I use the internet on it? Yeah. Do I generally? No. Not unless I absolutely have to. I separate that prioritization between a computer and a phone, just based on where I am and what I'm doing, that kind of stuff. Any new viewers coming in? Welcome, welcome. Say hello in the chat. Ask a question. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. No questions off the table here. Let's see here. See here. Crispy. Yep. Excuse me. Any other questions? Got about 20 minutes left in the live stream. So fire away if you got any. Fire away. Got a little time here. So focus camera. There we go. Doop 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 doop. Dude, what is going on with the camera? Wake up, dude. So you deployed third ID for 2007. Yep. So there was a joint JSS Falcon. Uh, I forget the Iraqi name that they changed it to, but it was JSS Falcon, which was one of the main bases right there in Southwest Baghdad. Yeah. And then we had some elements. We were handed off from 4th ID. They handed off to us, and then we handed off to, I think, 101st. And then while I was there, yeah, we had, so it was 3rd ID, 3rd Herd that was there. And then we had elements of 5th Special Forces Group and the SIF, Commanders and Extremis Force, that were kind of in and out of the base too. Ogre, late but here. Welcome, bro. Thanks for tuning in. I only got about 20 minutes left of my live stream here, but thanks for tuning in. Oh, you're JSS Casino? No shit, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Yeah, dude. That was crazy because yeah, we were trading off with First Cab. We were trading off, going around, rolling through Solder City and stuff, and then we were helping uh, uh, with joint security around biop and everything, and then we would run route clearance all up Route 1 there, Highway 1, and then northern part of the Triangle and everything. Yusufia and all those other little towns down in there and stuff. Yeah, we're all in there, dude. That's awesome. Small world. Love it, dude. And then I ended up going back as a contractor 5 more times, and was around BIOP a lot and everything. So I was doing the whips contract out of the BIOP and Green Zone area. So yeah, dude, small world, man. I mean, dude, big army. There was a lot of us there, but that's awesome, dude. And my cousin, who was 5th Special Forces Group, he had rolled through our place a couple of times, and I didn't even realize it. He's like, dude, you're Fob Falcon, JSS Falcon. I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, I was there on and off. I was like, I know. You 5th group guys are there. We never ran into each other though. It's kind of crazy. They were busy. They were very busy because when they weren't there, they were going up to like Erbil and the Kurdish area, and they were going further west and stuff. Yeah, it is wild, dude. It is wild, dude. That's awesome, bro. Oh man, we're gonna have to talk more, dude. That's awesome. Joe. Okay, music problem. Saint Anger or Ride the Lightning? This will be on the test. Well, of course, Ride the Lightning. I don't like anything Metallica after like that era. But I will say for Saint Anger, I actually like the snare tone on it because I listen to a lot of gore grind too. So it's got like that really high tinny snare sound to it in that style. So I don't hate the snare like a lot of people do in Saint Anger. The rest of the album can eat shit though. I don't care. It was a terrible album otherwise. But the snare was great to me. Just because of my taste with other subgenres of music. But yeah, no, Ride the Lightning, absolutely. Fight fire with fire. Yep. Joe, but the anger was real. I mean, kind of. Friends don't let friends get friends haircuts. If anyone gets that reference. I'm just not I just never really got that into Metallica. I was much more a Slayer guy. Camera. I was much more Slayer guy. So that's what I was listening to a lot more earlier on and stuff. And I've always listened to Slayer, apart from other stuff. I found death metal and black metal fairly on too. Apart from like the old thrash and everything. So that's just where I went with it. So camera, what is your deal, yo? Ogre, we have to have hair to cut out first. Yeah, exactly. Easiest haircut to take care of, man. Just shave it. One round left. What's up, broski? Hey, I answered your question at the beginning of the live stream, so go back and check it later. It was a great question. Thanks for tuning in. An axe to grind in the chat and one round left. Say hey to each other. One round left is also a former 11 Bravo. So we got a cool community of former grunts in here. And then Josh Munder for Tearsman, he was a Marine. Marine grunt too. So we got a good group of people in here. Ogre passing ammo around. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's good stuff. Glad you could tune in. Oh, you were at BJJ? Hey, nice, man. That's good. Getting your workout in, working on some of your martial fundamentals. So that's good. It's all good. I usually, yeah. So it's usually like a week after I post at the beginning of the month when I post a community post for questions. About a week after that, I'll do my live stream. It's usually on that whatever Thursday that is, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's kind of how I have it blocked out now. It is a great question, so thank you for it, man. Joe, this is why we can be friends. Ask about all this. It'll be on the test. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, all good company here. Metalheads unite. You're not the only one in here that's only that is a civilian and does civilian training, Ogre. But it's good that you train. Um, Ogre is an arborist by trade. One of my first jobs was doing tree work. So that's cool. I can respect that trade. It's some good labor work. Purple belt. Oh, congratulations, dude. One round left. Got his purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Congratulations, bro. That's good stuff. My buddy Will, Gutter Fighting Secrets, is down in Arizona now. He has his purple in jiu-jitsu too. That's awesome. Congrats, dude. You do push trees over. Ogre is a large man. Camera. Fucking fix your shit, camera. Whatever. I only got about 15 minutes left in this live stream. It is what it is. Time for a new camera. It's the onboard camera on my computer. I mean, if people want to buy my music, they can buy my music. I could put some of that towards a another camera because I have a nice camera that I do for making videos and I use for photography and for security work and stuff. But as far as like for a HD camera to use for live streaming and stuff, yeah, make a little money, and I'll put some aside to get one. But I don't know. I mean, this one is 720p, so it's not terrible. It's just for some reason it just likes to go in and out of focus. It's not like the camera's taking a dump or anything. I don't know. It might just be the lighting quality because it is getting dimmer out now. I don't know what it is. And axe to grind. Are those dragon skin DRs worth the cost, do you think? Oh yeah, absolutely. I've had the same pair. So my 01 DK MGT Jackson I've had the same pair of dragon skins on there for like 4 or 5 years. I need to change them, but they stay in tune and they don't break. And I still get really good sound out of them even that many years on. Like they're worth it. They are. They're strong strings. I also recommend going to like 10 or 11 gauge, but if you're going to run nines, run nines, they're worth it, man. It is a long time. I know. I need to change them, but I'm still getting good sound out of them. So I don't know, whatever. I think it's probably also to credit in part the EMG pickups in my Line 6 amps, but they keep tune. They keep good rich sound. I like them. Let's play D&D. Ogre says, "Hey, I'm always down for some D&D. That or Paizo Pathfinder, which is basically the same as D&D, like 3.0, 3.5. Worth it. D&D is fun. 10 to gauge shotguns. No, we're talking about string gauges, Ogre. I actually don't even have a shotgun right now. My old shotgun, I had a Winchester Ranger 120R, so it's 12 gauge. More of a like bird length barrel. The 120Rs are actually kind of rare. I ended up legally, I ended up selling it to a Winchester shotgun collector. So it went to a good home because I wasn't using it really. I had gone like grouse and turkey hunting with it a couple of times, but I wasn't really using it. So if I'm not using something, I don't like my guns to be safe queens. If I'm going to buy a firearm, I'm going to use it. And I wasn't using it. So BV Luminous, you're down for D&D? Hell yeah. D&D sesh. Let's go. But insofar as like another shotgun that I would pick up, I actually really like the Kalashnikov KS12. It's basically a more modern version of the Saiga that works a little bit better. I really like those AKs, man. Mag Fetch AK shotgun. Like, you can't go wrong. I know some people have some issues with them, but if you run high breath shells in them, you shouldn't have an issue. Third edition, we're gonna do D&D. Yeah, no, it has to be third edition or older. Like, I don't like the new version of D&D. Again, Paizo Pathfinder is the same thing as D&D 3.5, so that one's good to play too. Also, anyone new into the live stream, welcome. Hello. Say hey in the chat. Ask a question. I got about 10 minutes left in my live stream here. So if anyone has any questions, fire away, and I'll try and get them answered for you here. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. And anyone who is just coming in now, make sure you go back to the beginning of the live stream when it's over and check it out, because I talk about the giveaway that I'm doing. At 1,500 subscribers, I'm only about 220 something subscribers away from that. So I'll be doing that soon. And one of the big items is an MFH brand SADF Pattern 83 Battle Jacket LBE that has been customized by me. It was originally UCP camo. It was dyed with RIT dye and then customized with Rattle Can. The Gooch. Which those are hard to find right now. So, yeah, that's about it. Ask a question. Say hey in the chat and ask a question, please, by all means. Large Ogre, what you got planned for this weekend, asshole? You asshole. Working on some music stuff. I got a couple graphic design projects that I'm gonna do. May go shoot. May go on a hike. It depends. We're supposed to have some really rainy weather for the next couple of days, which is fine for hiking and all that. It's going to hamper shooting a little bit, but we'll see. I got some other stuff I'm doing, though. So, yeah. Always music stuff, graphic design stuff going on if I'm not doing other work-related stuff or whatever. So, level 4 plate steel armor. What about it? What about it? But yeah. Ogre. Yeah, the rain sucks ass doing any of your business. Well, yeah, because you're out in it, having to take care of trees and all that. But I mean, it is essential work, especially trees go down, hit power lines, and whatever else. You gotta go handle it. I mean, I did the same thing when I did that for one of my first jobs way back in the day. So, level 4 steel armor plates, my opinion on them. I mean, they're heavy as shit, but they're going to be more of an asset to you than ceramic or polyethylene plates. No matter what people say, they're going to last longer. They're not going to need to be replaced after one incident like those others are. You're not going to have the backface deformation. You're barely going to have any, if any, kinetic energy transfer to your body from it. Number of other things, but they're heavier. So that's the offset. Breathing can be a bit of a pain in the ass in a plate carrier or slick vest with steel plates on. They're restrictive. People say they're heat sinks, not in the sense that they're taking anything away, but they will insulate quite well. But all plates do, for the most part. So, had your cousin around 2 sets for me. Hey, cool. You got them. You got them. Why not use them? Just if it's too much of a pain, run in 2. Just run one on the front or whatever. It just depends on what your plans are, how you do things, all that stuff. All of the Met TC and everything else for you individually in your region. and your people. Just depends. You don't need to run plates either. It just depends on what you're doing. Like, again, for Minutemen and Prepare Citizens in large, it's going to be more of a reconnaissance, a recon unit type of dynamic, an unconventional type of dynamic, even a little bit ODA. You need to be multidisciplined people. It's going to be fairly small teams, that kind of stuff. But you need to be able to move fairly quickly with all of your essential equipment, So you don't see recon guys humping up mountains and stuff, wearing armor. If they're going to do a raid or get into a tick where they know they're going to get engaged, yeah, that dynamic's going to change. But for a lot of other things, no. You need to move. You need to be able to move quick. Because guys found out the hard way, wearing armor and trying to hump up mountains and stuff is the suck. And you will have problems. Yeah, I know your setup, Ogre. Again, it's all individual preference and dynamics. If you're going to be operating in vehicles a lot and in an urban environment, yeah, wear your armor. If you're going to be out in the sticks, being a fast mover and shoot and scoot, slip away, all that, there's a degree to it. We went for how many hundreds of years with the advent of firearms, how many hundreds of years up to a certain point where armor started being implemented to nuance, and then there was a dynamic shift, and then everyone was wearing armor, but then you had a lot of other issues come up. Heat casualty, injuries otherwise, effectiveness and efficacy for certain types of operations, certain conditional aspects, environment as well. That's a factor too. Jungle warfare, you ain't wearing armor in jungle warfare. You will die. So, things like that too. Just take into consideration. Become a heat casualty. Speaking of, hydrate, drink water, all of you. In extra grind, he was talking with your buddy about this. Kit War in 07 was the hottest, heaviest, most miserable setup you could ever have. Absolutely awful. Yeah, interceptor system, dude. We were kitted out like fucking knights, dude. Pauldrons, groin protector, which most of the time we didn't wear those. I would sit on my groin protector in my Humvee. I would sit on it instead of wear it. I wouldn't wear it on dismount patrol. The neck protector I would only have on if I knew I was going to be up in the turret. The shoulder pauldrons didn't fucking wear those either. We were like, no, we're not wearing this stuff. And that was stuff that was issued out like kind of later on anyway. But yeah, no, the interceptor system is miserable. Full Kevlar vest, and then you have plates front, back, and side in with it, Like, yeah, 130-degree Iraqi heat, especially in an urban environment where everything's concrete and the sun's just reflecting off of everything. You are baking. It did not matter how much water you drank. You were always dehydrated to a certain extent. Command forced you to wear the ball plate. I mean, it's not even a plate. It's just soft Kevlar. It's for shrapnel mitigation. It doesn't stop anything ballistically, bullet-wise. The arm covers and throw protectors all the time. Dude, that's insane, man. Our command was a little bit cooler about it. Like, they understand fairly early on that it was miserable. And, I mean, yeah, 130 degrees. Yeah, exactly. Dude, we were baking, dude. It was awful. And that's the thing, like, leadership dynamic, and it was different, obviously, for every unit, just the conditional things. But, like up in the turret, like, yeah, I would wear a little bit more of the upper stuff, but it still sucked, But, like, dismounts, no, I wasn't wearing any of that. No. I wouldn't wear the additional add-ons and stuff. Yeah, it sounds like they were. That's rough, dude. I mean, so third ID, I mean, we deployed every other year. We're the most deployed active unit. Our unit deployed every other year throughout the entire GWAT. Yeah, it was crazy. So by the time I got in there, like, some of my NCOs already had 2 3 deployments under their belts. It was crazy. and some of my other guys. Oh yeah, I bet it would take it personally being a saw gunner. I was 203, so yeah, M16A4 with a 203 at first, and then they ended up getting an M4 with a 203 later on. But no, I get it because I was carrying all the extra 40 mic and stuff, and then I would carry an extra nutsack of 50 rounds for our saw gunner too. So, Meatball SOS, hey man, thanks for tuning in. You are literally catching us at the end of the stream here because it has been 2 hours and I have to go do other things. I'm glad you could pop in here for a minute, dude. I appreciate it. No, you're good. You're good. Go back and watch the whole thing once we're done here and it pops up and you know for the next one as a reminder, at the beginning of every month a community post will go up on my channel for Q&A. You can ask some questions there, and then when I do these live streams, which is a week after that post goes up, or whatever Thursday that is, so it's generally like the second Thursday of every month from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll answer those questions, and then I just talk with everyone in the chat, answer their questions. We have discussions, whatever it is. That's kind of how I do things for about 2-hour blocks. So, but yeah, that's about it there. So, extra grand M203 guy can relate to saw gunner loadout more the rifleman. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I was running M16A4, earlier in those earlier times, we were still running those too. We didn't get M4s. I didn't get an M4 until a month into, it was a month into my deployment. So, they started switching us out. But yeah, it was good times. Stuart, thanks for tuning in, man. Sorry to bounce, but you're catching right at the end of the stream here, so I got to bounce here. But yeah, I miss the 203, man. Wish I could get one as a civilian without having to go through extra extortion and paperwork, No, it's okay, Stuart, man. Go rewatch it if you can. But yeah, again, last time I'll say this before I cut the stream here. Beginning of every month, community posts will go up for Q&A questions. You can throw one in the comments there. It'll have a meme attached to it. And then I'll answer them in the monthly, usually the second Thursday of every month, live stream for about a 2-hour block, and then just answer questions, talk with everyone in the chat and all that. So that's about it. And then the other thing is at 1,500, so 1,500 subscribers, I'm doing that giveaway still. I'm only about 220 odd subscriptions away from that, and then I'll do that. The MFH SADF Pattern 83 Battle Jacket LBE that has been customized by me will be given away, along with a Camelback hydration bladder and a pair of mechanics gloves and OCP. I'll pick three people for that. So whenever I hit that subscriber mark, I will do the giveaway. So just to let everyone know. So with that, I got to round it out and I got to bounce here. But thank you all for tuning in. Excellent questions. I really enjoyed the discussions with everyone tonight. And yeah, freaking, y'all have a great rest of your week and a safe weekend. And with that, metal up, stay adaptive, and stay lethal. Out.